Generational curses. Yes, generational curses. And I wanted to speak to it a bit. And first, let's just really determine what a curse is. A curse is when someone or some people, more than one, come together and have a target where of another person where they are actively conjuring up magical energy and or spirits that will go out and attack someone else. And so that is basically a curse. And it is nothing to play about. It's nothing of the fairy tales. It's real and it really happens. But it doesn't happen in the way that you see in the movies. It's more or less like something about life in general that happens in life in general. But for a particular person, it will be exacerbated. It will be more of it. It will be constant. It will be never ending. And it'll be a cycle that is actually very hard to break with normal, everyday applications. Curses are something that attaches themselves to a particular person. And it's no joke. And usually, if it's a strong enough curse, it's very hard to get rid of. So now that we have talked about what a curse is, now let's talk about generational curses. The term generational curses has been used very loosely, and having witnessed myself generational curses, when I hear and see and what people are applying this particular phrase to, I say, well, that's more like situations. That's more like racism. That's more like passing on or not having the ability of those that came before us to teach us better and how to make our way in life. That's different than an actual generational curse. Now you have things that are a part of the system of your society that happens repeatedly over time since, we have been here as African Americans, speaking specifically because that's who I am and where I am in the world. We have systemic things that are implemented, part of the culture that help to keep us not on equal grounding and not with the ability to have to move forward as maybe others who don't have those hindrances. So that in and of itself is not a curse. That's a condition. That is a societal issue and a societal problem. So examples of generational curses would be, it would travel from one person in the family and usually a parent, where it transfers down from that parent to the child, and down from that child, they experience the same kinds of problems. And then it goes on to the grandchild from that person that it happened with, and it can go to the great grandchild. So that's how it travels down generationally, and that takes removing from one person to cut the generational curse, to stop the generational curse. So it would come in like, let's say, I'll give examples. Every first-born daughter or son dies at a young age through violence or unexpected circumstances, or a child or a woman who gives birth, and in childbirth she suffers serious complications that almost cause her death. I'm not talking about, because bringing forth life, you do get close to death. We're not talking about that. We're talking about medical issues that come up, and it's not just of the mother, but the daughter also experiences it. Or it could be everything that person tries to do and their descendants, when everything is in alignment and there should be no blockages, everything is in place, but no matter what, that thing will never manifest, and that person will never make it past a certain point. And that travels down through children, from parent to child, and child to grandchild. And you also have some accidents that occur in a family, where they're like weird accidents that just seem to hit a particular family over and over again, tragedies over and over and over again. Now, you can't just assume because that does happen with some people, and that is a whole nother spiritual, how would you say, debt that the person has to clear up. But we're talking about when that's not in place. So the only way that you can know if you have or someone has a generational curse would be to get that insight from an experienced spiritual worker, period. You know, no one can really tell you just by the mishaps that may happen in your life whether or not someone has sent you something. You know, you can feel it, sure, but you got to get it confirmed, because sometimes it's life circumstances and that's it. There's nothing more than that. We're talking about magical, energetic things that have been sent to disrupt the person's natural destiny, the person's natural blessings, the person's natural happiness, that we can't just take these terms and then apply them loosely to life circumstances. It's just, you know, it really takes the onus off of what is really going on. So you got to get it checked out. So if you and those that came before you, your mom, your dad, and you're experiencing similar things that they experienced, hardships and mishaps that don't have any rhyme or reason. They're not just circumstances of society or the movements that you've made or failed to make. Then you need to seek it out. And that's what regular readings, you know, divination, you know, it will come up when you're doing your spiritual diagnosis by going to your spiritual worker, you know, your medicine person in your life. Then these things will come up and then you can address it properly and break it. Until next time, peace.